Now, as I mentioned earlier on, the wife of the late Robert Sobukwe will be laid to rest this morning, and the service has already started, and we do understand that the valedictory service is already in progress at her home in Graaff-Reinet in the Eastern Cape. Let's now take a look at these visuals. Well, that's the remains of Mama Robert Sobukwe exiting her home for the very, very last time, and it's now making its way to the Methodist Church in Graaff-Reinet, Of course, the service will be underway in just a few minutes at the Methodist Church. That's the congregational service, and after which the cortege will then move to Graaff-Reinet Botanical Gardens, where the main service will be in progress. I mean, we'll also have the Minister of Defence, Nosiviwe Mabisa-Nqakula, being a program director for that particular service, and we'll have the eulogy being delivered by the Deputy President, David Mabuza, after which the service will then move to the cemetery. And of course, some of the speakers will include David Mabuza and some of the ministers and some of the PAC officials. And I've seen this is the remains of Mama Zondeni Sobukwe exiting her home for the last time. This is the family valedictory service that is currently in progress. We'll certainly be dipping into the funeral service in just a moment. Well, the music industry in South Africa is still in shock after the loss of one of its pioneering artists, Linda Mkhize, also known as Prokid. The musician passed away recently in Johannesburg. Now, a tribute concert in his honor is set to take place in Soweto later on today, and the lineup is set to feature many prominent names in the South African music industry to pay homage to a great life lost. Put together within a space of 2 weeks, the Dankie San tribute concert will see 64 acts come together on stage. But to tell us more about the concert, we're joined in studio by renowned TV personality Penny Lebyane, as well as artist Gigi Lamayne, who will be performing at the event. A very good morning to you, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome.
Good morning to you.
Such a pleasure seeing you so early in the morning. Now, Penny, I'm going to start with you. You decided to come up with this service within a space of 2 weeks. How did that go? What's the process with regards to that?
Well, the organizers got into sort of like full swing as soon as we started preparing for the memorial service, to say we need to have a concert. Yeah. We need to have a concert to just stand, for the industry to stand together, the hip-hop industry to stand together, to pay homage to him, but more than anything else, to fill in any other gaps that might be needed. And they took on the cause of wanting to be uncles and godfathers to Mkhize, yes, who is Linda as daughter. She's really the shining star of this. For them, I've never seen such camaraderie of young men wanting to stand up for a brother and fill a gap for a little girl like they've done for Mkhize. And the concert is actually happening tomorrow. Okay. It's happening tomorrow throughout the day. Okay. Start at 1 p.m. That's when the doors will open at Zone 6 in Diepkloof.
But then, do you think he got the recognition he deserved from the music industry?
Linda, or Prokid, sits in a very interesting space. He's what I would call children of transition. And then I can relate to that because I'm part of that era. You're people who do the digging and you build certain things. And then certain people come and then they reap from that. It does not necessarily mean that you're not recognized. It just means because there's a curse of being a first generation of anything. It's like being a firstborn in your family. Your parents try out things with you. You sometimes put your siblings through school, and you might not have achieved certain things that they have. So the recognition was there. But as the industry grew and developed, and things like not hearing 100% of our music on television and radio, there's certain people who fall off, and they don't fall off because they're not good enough. Yeah. I listen to his Java now. I say, I don't understand why Prokid was not on high rotation. But it's because when people sit and they compile music, they want the latest song. Absolutely, and they do that. Yeah. But we don't do that with American artists. I hear R. Kelly and Blackstreet Boys, even on Highveld. And I'm like, why? Why are we not hearing our local artists who 8 years ago, 10 years ago, were just as good, if not better, by even some of the current crop.
Yeah. True. Now, Gigi, what did Prokid mean to you, and why did you think it was important to form part of this concert?
Well, I was one of the artists that Pro discovered. So he had started Manifest Entertainment, MFE, and he had signed 3-4 artists at the time. Myself, Red Button, Captain, and a vocalist by the name of SFS, and they're all performing tomorrow. And I mean, he was so much for localizing hip hop because it was said to be something that was Western, and you know, so even in that he really played the role of developing us into becoming South African artists to be able to relate to our markets. And I think you know, the concert was important because I think there were people like Questa who spoke at the memorial service about how much they were also influenced by him and his music, and how their identities wouldn't have, you know, quite formed to be what they are now because of that. And I guess it's what Usispian is saying about the pioneers for anything. He was a pioneer for South African hip-hop, but he played a special role in localizing it. And I think that's why, you know, the hip-hop industry had to come to a standstill to be able to give him an appropriate send-off.
True.
So he emphasized, I mean, hip-hop is a culture. It's about where you come from, your people and their stories. You're really a messenger. You're carrying stories and you're living through that. So he you know, hip-hop coming out of the US and coming to South Africa, until it was about our stories. I mean, if you listen to Pro's music, he talks about the challenges and the socio-economic issues we face in our townships, from young women to young men, to growing up in the streets of South Africa. Whether you're in a village, in a township, any young person, when you listen to that, from the sound, to the woman who's selling on the street, to the young men who are gathering in the corner, to the young man who has a dream but who doesn't know how to break out of that, and the pain of living with that dream and being unheard and being part of that generation. And more than anything else, I mean, I've worked with Penselb. When you listen to how he used his linguistic ability, I believe there should be a lecture and a conversation about that. If we can do it about Beyonce, Biggie and everybody else, why are we not doing it about our own people? And for me, he speaks to that. Language is important, relating to the stories and being a voice for the people.
Yeah, he certainly was a musical influencer. And how do you think he would like to be remembered? I mean, everybody went to town saying how a remarkable figure he certainly was. How do you think he would like to be remembered? Do you think he's quite happy wherever he is with the way that we remember him today?
Shucks. Through this organization of the concert and being part of the memorial and the funeral, his spirit was present.
Yeah.
Like, even his emotions, his angst and anxiety, and he was a unifier. He wanted everybody to come together. When you hear the tone of how everyone speaks, I mean, he called me sister. He had a sense of respect for everybody, you know, and he forced everyone to come out. He said, "Oh, boy, happy." Who are you? So let that come out. And then, I mean, there's videos that have been emerging of random conversations that he's had with people. And he speaks about, we need to take pride in who we are and where we come from, in our township, Ekasi. He says, yeah, but again, you know, people like Wizkid and whoever about Nigeria. Listen to that. Listen to that. It's like, it's so weird to Tembis. Like, he's forced everybody to reflect on themselves. I would say he's injected a little bit of consciousness into the current cohort of hip-hop artists. He's forced them to look back and say, who are we? What are we doing? What are we saying? Like,
and despite the phenomenal success that he was, but then he remained humble and he was unapologetically a township boy. How would you like to remember him?
As the big brother, as the pioneer, the #1 Soweto boy. I feel like there's not going to be anyone like Pro for a very long time. And although people feel like, I know a lot of people are saying, no, you only love artists when the guys, people loved Pro. People loved Pro. He had an amazing send-off. I feel like he's so happy.
Just briefly?
What did I learn from him? Culture is everything. You know, I even had an existential problem after everything happened. And for sure, with my next album, it's going to be authentically South African, and I think that's what he aimed to do.
All right. Ladies, all the best, eh?
Thank you so much.
Tomorrow, please.
Tickets?
Tickets are available at CompuTicket.
Okay.
They can buy them. They're 100 rands. At the door, they'll be 150. They're running out very fast. But we also have a trust account. Can I just put out the information?
Yeah, sure, briefly.
Yeah, briefly. So it's Nonkanyezi Trust. It's a Nedbank Corporate Saver. 9020816233. Any deposits, contributions are allowed.
Repeat the number.
Okay, the account number again is 9020816233. It's a savings account.
Okay.
Reference is Dankie San. Hashtag Dankie San Prokid. Please come out and
Dankie ladies. Dankie ladies. Thank you so much for chatting to us this morning. Well, that was Penny Lebyane and Gigi Lamayne talking to us about the Prokid tribute concert, which will be taking place in Soweto tomorrow. Well, this is Morning Live. Let's go for coffee now, shall we?